Hey, I'm Mzansi, and welcome to episode 146 of Farmers Inside Track. I'm your host, Dawn Numdu. Now, insurance is crucial to running an agribusiness, but often it's the last thing on farmers' lists. Theo Potgieter, Director of Insurance at UNIGRO, lists the reasons farmers should consider insurance. Over to you, For Mzansi journalist, Nicole Ludolph.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Theo, please tell us a bit about yourself and your background in insurance.
I've been in the insurance industry for the past 34 years. 17 of those I've spent at UNIGRO Insurance Brokers. Just a bit about UNIGRO Insurance Brokers. We are a subsidiary company of Agri Services, and our speciality is agricultural insurance. We provide short-term asset insurance to farmers, crop insurance, health and wealth insurance. That's your life and your medical aid.
Why is agri insurance so important?
Agri insurance, it's like your home insurance. Your farm insurance provides protection against your property damage, personal liabilities, bodily injury, and crop. It protects you and your family from financial difficulty. And I think that's probably the most serious point, is that you're all protected against financial difficulty. Agriculture is central to improving food security in South Africa. Agri insurance gives the farmer the peace of mind that his assets and his crop are covered, and his focus can now be on farming and not to worry about is his assets protected. I think there are 4 reasons why you should have agri insurance. And first one is to protect your assets. I think to leave an inheritance to your family, to pay debts and other expenses, to add financial security, and to bring you peace of mind. Farmers should consider insurance as soon as he owns assets and planting of crops has commenced. The banks will insist that assets under a finance agreement are covered in terms of the insurance policy. This will also refer to production loans for the planting of crop. Commercial banks will give a loan, and the farmer needs to provide security for that loan. By insuring his crops and his assets, he will more or less take care of that loan. I won't say it will be covered 100%. There are always some factors that will influence either the claim or the payout, but most of that will be covered in terms of an insurance policy. If he's got crops on field, it will be covered in terms of a fire policy, and then hail or any other peril that he elects to insure. And the same with his assets as well. His house and his equipment will then be fully covered in terms of an insurance policy.
What are the different kinds of agri insurance available for farmers?
2 types of short-term insurance when it comes to agri insurance. You get your agri asset, which covers the assets and the equipment and that type of section of the farm. And then you get the crop side. So on the crop side, there are 2 types of cover. You get hail and related perils, which includes then your fire cover. And you get a more specialized crop insurance, which covers them for too much rain, too little rain. And that type of the multi-peril policy for crop, which is a more expensive crop policy than the hail policy. So normally your policies that you get covers not just one risk, it covers a spectrum of risks put into one policy for the farmer.
Does crop insurance differ greatly from livestock insurance? Is there anything that's livestock specific as well?
We normally cover livestock under a fire policy, and then the client has got cover when there's a veld fire or if there is a lightning strike on that farm and it kills livestock. Livestock is normally not covered under a theft policy because it's quite expensive and quite difficult to prove that there was theft of livestock. So yes, a livestock policy is different from a crop policy. Crop policy only looks at crop. Livestock form part of your assets insurance.
What standards do farmers have to meet before they qualify for agri insurance?
Agri insurance applies to agribusiness. So you must have a farm to qualify. And then any person can take out insurance as long as there's an insurable interest. You cannot insure a tractor that belongs to someone else, and you need to insure that tractor because you're using it on your farm. That tractor needs to be in your name to insure it. So there must be an insurable interest in a specific asset. On crop insurance, you can rent a piece of land and you can plant on that, and then we can insure that crop because that crop is actually your crop. You've got an insurable interest on that crop. That's where insurance eligibility comes into effect. As long as you own land and it's deemed agriculture, you can have an agricultural policy covering your assets and your crop on that field. But the crops that you are planting on that leased land, we can insure that in your name as well because you are responsible for that crop.
Are there any general exclusions around agri insurance?
If you look at livestock, it's not excluded per se. So like we said, we can cover that livestock under a fire policy for you. The problem when it comes into theft is how do you prove theft? You can go slaughter a cow and report it stolen. That's just where the insurance comes into effect. That to prove the loss, how do you prove that you've had a loss? That's why they actually step away from insuring livestock under a theft policy. There are other mitigating factors that you can use, implants, chips, and that type of thing to monitor your livestock. That's something that you do outside of an insurance policy. If we look to the agri assets and the agri crop insurance, I think the main exclusions under an agri assets policy is that of SASRIA, which is your South African Special Risks Insurance Association. And this type of cover is provided by the state, and it forms part of your assets insurance if you select that you need that type of cover. Cover refers then to damage caused by civil commotion, your riots and your strikes. A further exclusion on assets policy is normally war and nuclear risks, and then of course gross negligence by a farmer would also not be covered. On the crop insurance, the most popular crop insurance are the products that cover hail insurance, wind and other perils, of which the most popular is hail insurance. Disease is not covered by crop insurance, as this is something that the farmer is expected to manage and prevent. Multi-peril type insurance covers farmer for uncontrollable diseases or insect infestation. Naturally, theft cover is included under a crop insurance policy. The insurance industry did suffer tremendous losses through those locust plagues that swept through the Northern Cape.
Finally, do you have any tips or pieces of advice for farmers to choose the right insurance?
If you need agricultural insurance, go to an agricultural specialist broker. There are thousands of insurance brokers out there in the market, but rather goes to that one that specializes in agricultural insurance. It's a specialized industry, and agri guys know what to look for, what to insure, how to assist you with your crop insurance, how to assist you with your crop claims, and then on the assets claims as well. Approach your local co-op in the area that you're farming, and those guys will then be able to assist you with not just insurance, but look at your production loans for you, assist you with assets, and then help you with purchasing your seeds, silo storage, and that type of thing. So to me, approach an agricultural insurance broker to assist you with mitigating your losses or your cover.
Thanks, Nicole, and absolutely amazing having you with us. Theo Potgieter, Director of Insurance at UNIGRO. And that brings us to the end of this episode.
Agriculture is not just about farming. It's about caring, and that's an ideal worth preserving. When your family doesn't settle for anything less than magnificence, give them the best with Magnificent Maize Meal. On the field or in the classroom, Magnificent helps your family perform magnificently. Magnificent is a product of VKB Group. Visit vkb.co.za or like our Facebook page for more. VKB, for the love of the